Hello and welcome to Andover Norton, and this week's video is after something occurred here about someone's idea of what a piston should measure. Now the problem arose was the fact that the piston didn't measure the same size as what was engraved or stamped or marked on the top of the piston. Now they couldn't accept that it's not going to measure what's on the piston top. The number on the piston top is the indication of the size of the bore that it fits into, not the size of the piston. Now, there's some very good reason for that the piston isn't actually round and it's not actually parallel at the sides. They are actually manufactured in a way so one, they can go in the bore and allow for expansion at the various hot and cold points, and of course allow it to operate so you can get a film of oil between the skirt and the piston. This is never going to be the size it says on the top, and if you measure one like the person did, they only measured it in one place and gave me one reading. If they measured it there and across the crown, they would have found that it measures 3 different sizes. Now the piston they had wasn't undersized. I don't know what they've done, but this leads on to another thing. If you're going to buy a set of pistons with the intention of having a rebore, get the pistons first and submit them with the barrel to whoever's doing the rebore. You'd need to give them the pistons and the clearance you're going to need on that piston skirt, because that's where it's going to pinch up first. Now, for an air-cooled engine, even something like these Amigas, which in a water-cooled engine go down to about 3 thou clearance to the bore on a Commando. Now, I wouldn't fit at 3 thou on a Commando because it's not water-cooled. I would go about 4 thou to 4.5 thou, ideally. A lot of figures you hear out there are for water-cooled engines where they've got better control of the thermal loads they're experiencing. Bear that in mind when you're getting it done. Now, if you're going to buy a piston and you're going to tell the machine shop what size piston you're going to get, hopefully they're going to refuse to do the job. And if they do the job, I would like to think they're at least going to machine it slightly under the figure you've given them to give you a chance to fit the piston. Now, to give an idea, you're looking for the bore to be plus or minus 0.0004 of an inch, effectively 4/10 of a thou on that. And likewise, if you've got a decent tri-mic like this, you can actually measure it to check. These measures right down to some really small tolerances. We'll get a photograph to show you what this one goes down to. Now, that's the other thing as well. Now, moving on a little bit, when you come to fit a piston to a barrel, if the barrel's been used, it could have worn. Now, these are pretty good to give you an idea of the wear, but despite the cost and how accurate these measure, they're not brilliant for that type of measurement. They can tell you roughly if you've got wear top, middle, bottom, providing you can get it in there and it doesn't rock. If it rocks, you've got some sort of ovality in there, in which case this isn't going to give you that accurate a reading. Now, it comes down to this, the measuring stick. Some people absolutely detest these, but when you come to a warm barrel, they're actually pretty good. And with a bit of feel and a bit of practice, you'd be surprised how accurate you can get these to read. And not only that, they can give you an indication, depending on where you put it in the barrel, how much wear or actual barreling you've actually got going on, or how much out of oval you've got. So don't discount the old sticks for measuring as well. Very handy. If you're putting that in a bore and it's rocking, or you can't get it to be nice and firm in the bore when you do it, then chances are you might need to move over the sticks to see where your problem lies. Now the barrel, when that's honed, that's normally honed down to in millimeters, bearing in mind that in the UK we've used millimeters for barrels since before First World War. Why we have, I don't know, but we have. You'll see a drawing in inches and you'll see a bore in millimetre. Automotive industry has done that for well over 100 years in the UK. You would expect to see that, something like that one there, 73 millimetres plus or minus 0.01 of a millimetre. That's how accurate that should be. And likewise, the pistons are made to give you the clearance they think you need. But it's always worth submitting the pistons and the barrel when it goes to a rebore and get it just right. Now, if you've got any other questions on pistons and the measurements and how they fit, please feel free to get in touch with myself or Simon at Andover Norton. It's one thing really, it's easy to do, but it's the one part that's always rushed. We always think people saying, I need pistons, I've just sent my barrel to my engineering shop and they're going to rebore it. Well, why are they reboring it when they ain't got the pistons? You're just about to buy the pistons. If you're doing that, you can expect to be in a world of hurt when you find that you haven't got the correct clearance, or you have to send it back to them to take more out to get the correct clearance. Now, any other queries, send us an email. Thank you very much for watching.